Hello, good morning. It's day two of my 61-day challenge. I'm going to post every day for the next 2 months. So today, what I thought I'd do is talk about the process of starting a YouTube channel because this isn't day two. It's like day 400. I decided to do this quite a long time ago. So I did what everybody did, and I started researching YouTube. And I fell in that trap where I wanted to get a little better gear. I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. I wanted to make sure I was trying to do everything just the right way. I wanted to make sure I understood the art of storytelling. I wanted to understand the thumbnails. All this while ignoring kind of the advice of the one of the experts I admire the most, which is Gary Vaynerchuk. So what Gary would say constantly is just, and I thought, well, if I do just post and it's bad, then it might hurt me or it might mess up the channel. Then I wasn't sure what kind of channel I was going to have. And I know he's like, just post, the algorithm will figure it out for you. But there are so many people that say the exact opposite. Um, I've decided to do a combination of both. I've got a travel channel called Capturing the Journey. I've got Capturing Chris, which is this channel, which will go through the starting as of the YouTube channel, as well as the daily journey of how I'm doing. Hopefully, you'll be able to track my progress and how my videos have improved. Because the reason I'm doing 61 posts in the next 2 months is because I know myself. I know that if I don't commit to doing it and get in a routine of doing it every day, I know I will find an excuse not to do it. So, and I don't want that to happen. I know that I need to get better. And I also know the only way to get better is by practicing and doing. So I'm going to continue to post hopefully for the next 61 days. I'm going to post something. I'm going to try and always post quality information or quality material, something someone will get value out of. And I also have a photography channel where I'm going to talk about how to take real estate photographs and how to photograph wildlife or nature or city scenes. So it's a pretty, I've got 3 separate ways, but I'm going to post everything on Capturing Chris first. Not for any other reason except for I need to post every day. And if I know I have to post every day, I know I'll post every day. I'm in a unique situation. I'm a photographer, a professional photographer. I earn my living working with real estate agents, but I also have a love for wildlife and nature. And I know that is my true passion and what I truly want to be doing. So that's what this channel is for. I'm hoping this will enable me to at least document my travels and share my journey with you guys. I have a pretty unique story because not only did I decide to start over in my 50s, but in October of 2020, I had that car accident where I was in the head-on collision. And, that was no fun. The head-on collision affected a lot of things. It took them 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months to even diagnose the fact that I had a brain injury. I was forgetting things. I was having mood swings. So we're going to talk about the brain injury and how I dealt with that. And we're going to look at the recovery that went on and the way I was able to kind of improve that. We're going to talk about on this channel what it's like for me to be caring for my elderly mom, who's 84, soon to be 85. We'll probably get into what my house is like with my daughter lives at home. She's 23, and my grandson, who's 2.5, my mom, who's 84, and then my ex-wife, who lives upstairs with my daughter. So, I got a full house, and I have a dog, which I walk every morning to get exercise. So there's always something going on at the house. And, I think I can add value when I talk about caring for an elderly loved one. Because when you're a caregiver, that alone has its own challenges. I mean, I'm away from the house right now. I'm in Daytona Beach, and there's a little bit of guilt associated with that. But there's also a sense of relief because I know that one, she's being taken care of and she can take care of herself. And two, I know I'm getting a little bit of a break, even though I'm working. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to really watch how this channel grows. I don't think I haven't decided if I'm going to look at views for the first 2 weeks. I think I'm not. I think I'd rather just have it be a surprise. So maybe on day 15, we'll see if we have any views yet. We'll check in on day 15 and day 30 and day 45 and day 60 is when we'll check in to see how the channel is doing. But again, I'm not sure anyone really is all that interested in my story. I think that the aspect of recovering from the brain injury, starting over, taking care of an elderly loved one, I think those all have their own interest level. So I'm really not worried about how the channel grows. And I'll probably be posting all of the content about caring for my mom on this channel, Capturing Chris, because I think that's where it belongs. But along the way, we'll do some fun stuff too. I am traveling. I'm going to Mexico in 2 weeks. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to Holbrook's, however you say it. I'm going there to do a whale shark a whale shark snorkeling trip. So I'm excited about that. And really looking forward to that. The only issue with the whale shark trip is that they don't guarantee that you're going to see a whale shark. So they don't guarantee that you'll find a whale shark. I'm almost positive we will. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get some footage. I'm a little upset with myself this morning. It was kind of an afterthought to get out here while the sun's going up. I got my good camera out. I'm taking some footage of the sunrise. With all these travel trips and everything I've read and everything that I've learned about, they say the most important thing is planning. So of course I listen to no one and plan nothing. So sometimes I'm just stupid. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's the brain injury, sometimes it's just life. And I filmed all this stuff yesterday and learned that my mic wasn't on. So that was less than optimal. As I set up my studio at my house, I was ready to go in and film my first video, to kind of get a head start on things. And one, I was a little sick. I had a sinus infection, so I wasn't moving at the fastest pace. But it took me 6 hours to get the lighting right. And thank goodness for ChatGPT, because without that, I'd probably still be working at it. It's insane, everything, all the intricacies of starting a YouTube channel. I've been posting YouTube for a little bit on a couple different channels, so the posting part wasn't all that difficult for me. And I'm pretty lucky because I am a photographer and I am used to shooting video. So I started out in sales 40 years ago. So worked my way up from a territory manager to a VP of sales of a medical company and a couple other things. So started out in medical sales, ended up in consumer packaged goods. But so I do know sales. So that there might be some tips on how to do sales. And that's probably why I started in real estate photography. But I can't believe that for the day 3 footage. But the other thing we're doing on this channel, because as I said, I have a couple of channels, but I'm going to post everything here, is for the travel channel. I'm not doing this 61 posts in 2 months. I'm going to go to every state park in Florida within the year. So there's 175 of them. So I'm going to rate those. I'm going to take some pictures of those, and I'm really looking forward to that. All that while I'm running my media company and I'm helping launch a beer called Bamboo Grove. So I'm doing tasting, doing some market research there. So there's I'm not busy. Plus worrying about my mom, taking her to medical appointments, worrying about my daughter, worrying about my son, worrying about the dog. I'm a constant worry. But I am so happy to have you along for the ride, and really appreciate you staying for this long, which you probably didn't, but maybe you'll go back and watch it later. But until the next time.
Thanks so much for the interest in the channel. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in this type of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you'd hit the like button, I'd really appreciate that too. I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.